I'm Owen Hughes. It's time for a road trip. Join me as we tour the Oregon coast and beyond. Known as Stumptown, Portland is also known as Rose City, and for good reason. The International Rose Test Garden is a must-stop, with some 10,000 rose bushes on display. It's considered the oldest continuously operated public rose test garden in the United States, with some 700,000 visitors each year. Our tour begins in the city's art district, an eclectic street setting with artists of various styles on display. After this pleasant stroll, we leave the city and head south. Our next stop is a winery for lunch and some wine tasting. The Oregon weather best suits grapes for white wine production, and white wine was the theme in this relaxing setting. From here we head towards the Oregon coast and see a key crop along the way.
The Willamette Valley areas of it are the grass seed capital of the world, primarily ryegrass, but they grow other varieties as well. So if your lawn has been recently reseeded, probably a pretty good chance that seed came from the Willamette Valley.
We reached the Pacific Ocean on a perfect afternoon. This rest stop on the Oregon coastline is on display in all its glory. The quaint city of Newport is our destination as we settle in for the evening. We start the next day at the Oregon Coast Aquarium. Opened as a nonprofit in 1992, within 4 years the aquarium was named as one of the top 10 aquariums in the U.S. by Parade magazine. By 2005, the aquarium was listed as among the top 10 world-class aquariums by USA Today. This relaxing day continued at the Yaquina Head Lighthouse. Built in 1873, it is the tallest lighthouse in Oregon. With its Fresnel lens, its light can be seen by vessels over 20 miles away. And on many days, whales can be seen below. After leaving the lighthouse, I'm reminded that, along with New Jersey, Oregon is the only other state where you're not permitted to pump your own gas. An attendant must do it for you. As we continue south, we reach Cape Perpetua on Oregon's central coast. A hardy hike brings us up the pathway to the Osceola Head Lighthouse. With a panoramic view of the lush coastline, the lighthouse is named after Spanish explorer Bruno de Heceta. The Osceola Head Lighthouse is one of the most photographed on the coast. The light atop the 56-foot tower first illuminated in 1894 and is considered the strongest light on the Oregon coast. A dune buggy ride on a 40-mile stretch of sand dunes just outside the city of Florence is our next stop. This area is known as the Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area, North America's largest coastal dunes. The sandy hills reach up to 500 feet in height, with a diverse ecosystem which includes streams, plants, and wildlife. This was an adventure well worth enjoying.
I couldn't go right or left. I just had to go
We then head back to our hotel to prepare for our travels the next day. Another gorgeous day is upon us, and a wondrous day is ahead as we ready for a Rogue River jet boat ride. The tour leaves from Gold Beach on the southern shore of the Rogue River. This is one of the few remaining mail boats in the nation and still delivers mail to Agnes City, 32 miles upriver, on a daily basis. It's a beautiful day on the river, spotting wildlife and learning history.
Once you got the tree.
A lunch break 2 hours upriver occurs at the scenic Cougar Lane Lodge. After a restful stop, it's back down the river for a memorable 1 hour splash and dash ride back to dock. The jet boats are available mid-May through mid-October. After a 2.5 hour bus ride south, we'll reach Northern California for the night. From Eureka the next morning, we tour the giant redwood trees at Founders Grove, some 30 miles south. The iconic Founders Grove is the most visited grove in the Humboldt County redwoods. Just off the famed Avenue of the Giants, the big redwoods extend as far as you can see in every direction. Highlights include the Founders Tree, and at the end of the loop is the famous fallen Dyerville Giant, before its fall in 1991, and possibly 2,000 years old. The giant redwood once stood 372 feet tall and was considered the tallest tree in the park. The coastal redwoods vary from sequoia trees, which are the world's tallest trees in volume, in that the sequoias grow in California's Sierras. In contrast, redwoods have a slender trunk, but are the world's tallest trees, capable of growing over 370 feet in height. The Sequoia Park Zoo is our next stop. Founded in 1907, the zoo is considered California's oldest zoo. Along with exotic animals, you'll find an interesting skywalk through the redwoods. This breezy walk puts you above ground within the trees, with a ground floor below. The following morning, Prairie Creek and Jedediah Smith State Parks wind down our Redwoods tour. Jedediah Smith, a densely forested park with huge ancient trees, encompasses 7% of all of the old-growth redwoods left in the world. The big tree is the highlight in Prairie Creek State Park. This is an easy walk to stunning old-growth redwood trees. But now it's time to return north as we head back into Oregon and settle at Grants Pass for the evening. The next day we head to Crater Lake, the only national park in Oregon. The lake was formed nearly 8,000 years ago, triggered by the eruption and collapse of Mount Mazama. We arrive at lunchtime at the adjacent Crater Lake Lodge. The lodge and Rim Village are at an elevation of 7,100 feet, approximately 950 feet above the lake. At 33 square miles around the rim, a Cascade Mountain backdrop, and rich blue color, Crater Lake is also the deepest lake in the United States, with a depth of over 1,900 feet. A photographer's favorite, and with a variety of recreational activities.
If there are any other questions, I'll be here up on the deck to help out with other questions that you might have.
Crater Lake has over 700,000 visitors each year. As we head back to Portland to wind down our tour, we're immersed in a tree-filled drive.
Well, the Douglas fir is the state tree of Oregon. It is the driving economic force for many, many, many years. It still plays a large role in the economy. This tree is the tree that provides all the dimensional lumber for all the homes that are built in the United States, and of course a lot of it is shipped overseas as well.
Our final stop, Multnomah Falls, as scenic and spectacular a falls as any in the country.
There are over 77 waterfalls on the Oregon side of the Columbia Gorge, and Multnomah Falls is the tallest continuous fall, 629 feet in 2 sections.
With a combination of rainwater, snowmelt, and underground spring, Multnomah Falls never dries up, ensuring a magnificent sight every day. The falls attract some 2 million visitors each year. From shorelines to sand dunes to redwoods and beyond. This tour of over 1,000 miles refreshed my soul, replenished my zest for travel, and makes me wonder, where will the road take me next?